Right, so next we've got Mr. Stephen Ryan from U.S. Army Corps of Engineers presenting on raptor nest monitoring in the Middle Rio Grande Bosque of central New Mexico.
Hello, everyone. I want to start off by thanking, saying how appreciative we are to have someone like Trevor that knows these birds so well. It's not easy to walk through these different habitats and ID all these birds. Just want to thank him for that. Can you hear me okay? Okay. So, I am Stephen Ryan with the Army Corps of Engineers. I'm in the Environmental Resources Group. We conducted raptor nest monitoring in the Middle Rio Grande Bosque. Here's a map of the study area. Starting in the south, it was just at the northern boundary of the Isleta Pueblo, all through the city of Albuquerque, both sides of the river, and then the Corrales stretch. This entailed approximately 28 river miles and approximately 3,700 acres, but a lot of areas are more open or marshlands. The raptors do not use those, so they're not really monitored. The raptors, 99% of the nests were in a tall cottonwood tree. Showing the importance of the cottonwood forest for these raptors. They build what they call stick nests, large bulky nests up high in the cottonwoods. I'm sure most people have probably seen one at some point. And it is incredible how many nests there are through this reach. I want to say that this is a continuation of a project that has been ongoing since 2004, raptor nest monitoring. And various reaches have been added or discontinued over the years. And with limited funds, this year we decided to focus our efforts on the Albuquerque and Corrales reaches. So I have maps of each area. Oh, let me start here. There was a total of 47 nests during the 2019 breeding season. And within these two reaches combined. And then compared with data from 2004. This is my first year doing this monitoring, and I'm not sure if those were drought years or this data can be definitely could be compared with the songbird data Trevor just talked about, and compare that data. So just comparing the Albuquerque and Corrales reaches over the years, there's a little different habitats in the two. Corrales, much denser habitat, less open areas, and not a bunch of bridges going through them like in the Albuquerque reach. However, I do notice a lot of activity in Corrales, like Trevor mentioned. A lot of dogs, a lot of hikers. There's a lot of birders. Everyone was really interested in what I was doing, and there's a lot of activity out there. But I think the birds are okay with some human disturbance. And so starting at the north, this is a northern part of the Corrales Reach. Total of, within this stretch you see on the map, there were 5 Cooper's hawks. Those are the green dots. Great horned owl, I don't know if you see that too well, it's in the very northern part, the red triangle. And also 1 American kestrel. Now, kestrels are cavity nesters. They're the smallest falcon, and their nests were not searched for, but I would hear when I was out and about, the fledglings or nestlings were very vocal. So the cavity nest will be 100% success because I didn't go looking through cavities for nests. The rest of the species that, thought I had on a slide. So there were a total of 7 species that breeded through the study area. Cooper's hawk was the most abundant, followed by great horned owl and Swainson's hawks, and then common black hawk and one osprey nest. These are all the stick nest species, and then there were 2 species that do cavity nests, the kestrels, and there was also one western screech owl. But those were not compared in nest success and those. Southern part of Corrales is on the west side of the river on the left, and starting at the north diversion channel, going south, that's the kind of the northeast part of the Albuquerque Reach. And it was pretty amazing. We had a osprey nest at the north diversion channel. That's actually on the Pueblo Sandia land, but the rest are Cooper's hawks. Cooper's hawks just adore the habitat in Corrales, and I think a lot has to do with the adjacent lands. A lot of excellent backyard bird feeders for them to. I would often see them flying back and forth over the levee and hanging out in backyards. There was also a Swainson's hawk, which was in an interesting spot because usually we see Swainson's hawks adjacent to ag lands and pretty open areas, but you see right there, just northeast of Alameda Bridge. I could monitor that one when I drove over the bridge, right above a trail. Okay, moving south, there wasn't much through here. Basically one nest and one Cooper's hawk nest here. A lot of habitat is on this side. There's really not much. It's real narrow. This was a hot spot behind the Bosque School. It was always I can't imagine there was so many birds in there. Also, this area was pretty flooded through a lot of the survey monitoring study and pretty inaccessible. I was able to find a few nests later in the season, but I think that kind of skews like our nest success when I'm maybe missing some that were unsuccessful or maybe abandoned or whatever. I think nest success is inflated on this, but it's a great database to have. It's very useful it's for land managers when planning projects, and they can know areas to avoid. Keep moving south. This is central to Rio Bravo. A lot of Cooper's hawks, 8. And I mean, this is amazing, right through the city. A lot of disturbance, a lot of bridges. And then this was amazing how many species were down there in the South Valley. We actually had a common blackhawk. It's a very rare buteo. It's a coal black bird. It's a beefy, big bird. I wish I had pictures to show you. And they're really restricted to dense riparian woodlands and are pretty bothered by human presence. They nested here, I believe, the last 3 years down in the South Valley. And previous to that, I'd never seen any documentation of them breeding anywhere, maybe down by Las Cruces, but nowhere through the middle Rio Grande. So that's kind of interesting. I think they hang out in the Gila. They've been known to be in the Gila too. But, maybe they're moving north. It's kind of interesting. Up here, the purple one was the western screech owl. I found that one when I was watching a Cooper's hawk, and he was attacking them, and there was a big commotion, and all the fledglings bounced back into the hole. So I found that one with the help of a Cooper's hawk. So some results. Total of 47 nests, 7 species were active during the 2019 season. I also want to mention that we keep an active database of nests, and it's really easy to go out and go to previous year's nests are often used again. And also, great horned owls do not build nests, they steal them from other hawks, often ones that were used the year before. So going out with those, with the waypoints and the GPS, it's a real easy way to get a good robust sample size of nests, and they're easy to monitor. They have a long nest cycle. Some of them you could set a park bench in the Bosque and just watch them, for a few minutes, and you can get a lot of information. 5 of those were stick nesting species that build the giant stick nests up high in trees. Cooper's hawk, great horned owl, Swainson's hawk, osprey, and common blackhawk. I mentioned earlier, these two, the kestrel and the screech owl, are both cavity nesters, and we did not actively search for them, but found them by being at the right place at the right time. So out of the stick nests, the big bulky stick nests, there were 41, and I got 85% successfully fledged young. Cooper's hawk was by far the most abundant breeding raptor, as he is year in and year out, accounting for 66% of all the stick nests. And this is, I think, kind of made me wonder why monitor raptors. I mean, they're the top level carnivores in the Bosque, and we see declines in raptors. It could be concerning. It could indicate declines in their prey, including small mammals, reptiles, amphibians, and of course, songbirds. So we wouldn't want to ruin Trevor's surveys. Anyway, that was it, and I will open it up for questions.
Thanks, Steve. I didn't catch what time of year you were conducting the surveys, but I noticed that there weren't any eagles that you found as part of them. And then I was wondering if you could comment or maybe speculate a little bit about why you were finding higher numbers and the greater number of species further south in Albuquerque, considering that whole region has had quite a bit of fuels reduction and some restoration.
The study area is approximately March through June. You could start late February. Great horned owls start nesting in late February, and ideally you get out there and you find a ton of nests before the leaves come out, before the leaves emerge, and a lot of nests are very easy to see and find and get in your database. So maybe into July, a few nests go a little later. A lot of nests in that South Valley, on the east-southeast side of the river. It's really good habitat down there. I mean, the kestrels use like formerly burned areas and really open. So wherever they are, it's pretty open, really open habitat. Those orange ones with the black dot. But as you go a little bit above those, there's really dense habitat in here, like this whole chunk. The great horned owl nests and the common black-eyed nests were very close in proximity. I would say like a little over 100 feet. But the great horned owl nest was complete about when the blackhawk was laying eggs. And they seem to be able to share that habitat. But that blackhawk is it's like a 23-inch bird. It's a big, beefy bird, and it looks really tough. And it's very secretive under dense canopy. And it's totally black bird. It has yellow legs, other than that, and a white stripe on its tail. But they're very hard to see. They couldn't be missed. They could breed out there and miss. They eat a lot of aquatic organisms. I did see one carrying a frog to the nest. That was really cool. Maybe a bullfrog, I'm not sure. And then, I don't know, I mean, these birds are very opportunistic. Cooper's hawks will nest in neighborhoods, and I'm sure we've seen in parks and such. So I think that the adjacent habitat sometimes has a lot to do with where they nest. Like this Swainson's hawk was always it seemed like he was hunting out here. This one was always hunting out in some fields, ag fields and such. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could spend a lot of time just in that stretch. There's so much going on. Does that answer your question? Well, eagles, no, I did not see any eagles at all, and they're more like the osprey. Well, yeah, no, I did not see any at all on this study.
When you mentioned the database, that people could maybe use that would be helpful, is there a place where they would go?
Come to me.
I'm make sure people knew.
I could send it out to the land managers. I mean, in this case, it would be City of Albuquerque Open Space and the Village of Corrales. I could send them update it and send it weekly, and just with the dots showing the nestler. Yeah, that would be very easy to do.
Thanks.